And then when the songs of the kingdom are now sounding like the world, we can't tell the difference. Oh, don't get me wrong. The gospel is not a genre. The gospel of Jesus is not a genre, no doubt. But guess what? The message of Jesus cannot be lost in any genre.
Victoria Orenze has a lot to say about the way gospel music sounds lately. According to her, when you listen to gospel music, you should be able to differentiate between gospel music and worldly music. I'm talking about sound-wise right now, not talking about the lyrics, because obviously a lot of gospel music have at least clean lyrics. So I think the whole conversation right now for her is about sound. Remember Gaise Baba talking about Afrobeat and Afro gospel, and he's saying that gospel music is not a genre. So she's saying that she doesn't mean that it has to be a particular genre. So I'm confused. It's like she's saying one thing and saying the other thing. If you feel like gospel music can be any genre, then for instance, somebody who is singing gospel sings something that sounds like R&B, but the lyrics are gospel. I feel like we're still going to judge that song because most times, when we began to hear R&B, it was love songs, it was songs to women or songs to men. Or let's assume that Lecrae comes out and sings a rap song. Some people will not be able to listen to Lecrae rap because they feel like the hip hop they've been hearing for centuries or for decades were hip hop songs that were, romanticizing women and all those kind of stuff. So you see that some people can never listen to gospel rap because they feel like it does not sound right. So even though Victoria Orenze is trying to say, oh, the songs are now sounding like gospel, like worldly songs, I still don't get it. We're still trying, it's still the same thing we're saying, it's still the same barrier people are trying to break, that gospel music can still glorify God even though it does not sound the way we are used to it sounding. She said a lot in that video, and she talked about the fact that don't bring God down to your level, that if you're in sin, come out of sin before you sing to God and everything. So I'm just assuming, like, if somebody is putting on earrings or something and no, is not acceptable in the gospel music industry, does the person have to wait till they stop wearing the earring or till God convicts them to stop wearing the earrings before they sing to God? But we listen to Maverick City, where a lot of them have tattoos and studs and everything. I'm not saying that Maverick City is the standard, I'm just saying this for an example. Now let's even talk about Victoria Orenze and why I hate this whole thing where gospel singers, pastors are just out there judging and judging and judging. I don't even feel like it's preaching anymore. Because, okay, for instance, I watched Victoria Orenze in this video and she had almost a full face of makeup, beautiful durag, and her beautiful hair. I love her hair. I feel like her hair game is 100 over 100. I will rock her hairs. You understand? I love how she makes up. I love makeup. So I don't have an issue with when a woman makes up. But do you also know that there are those from another denomination who would never want to listen to Victoria Orenze because why is her lips so red? Or why are her lips so red? Or why is her hair so long? Why is her brows so thick? You understand? Because she has a full face beat. And they feel like it's a distraction. Do you understand? People will not listen. That's why sometimes I'm like, when we're judging, can we be doing this whole judgment thing, with small grace and love? I know that people should not stay in sin because grace and everything. But still, the whole judgment is unnecessary if you ask me. What happened here is Gaise Baba sang a song. It has blown. This lyrics of the song is saying, I have decided to follow Jesus. And people are saying it sounds like worldly song. How does worldly song sound? How does worldly song sound?
Don't stay in your weakness to want to preach a gospel. Rise from your weakness and preach the truth unbiased. Don't stay in your weakness to want to preach the gospel to us. Rise from your weakness and preach the gospel unbiased, because the gospel of Jesus causes people not to do evil. That's the gospel of Jesus. It comes and it changes our taste bud. One time you cannot do without worldly song, but this time you can do without it because now you have Christ in you. And most of these songs, worldly song we sing, if you hear their lyrics, is unbelievable. And then when the songs of the kingdom are now sounding like the world, we can't tell the difference. Oh, don't get me wrong. The gospel is not a genre. The gospel of Jesus is not a genre, no doubt. But guess what? The message of Jesus cannot be lost in any genre. Should not be lost in any genre. So let's drop our weakness. Let's not bring the gospel down to the level of our weaknesses. Let's move from our weakness. Let's preach the gospel how it should be.
Someone please explain to me, what does it mean for the message to be lost in the genre? Do you mean that maybe the beat is too fast, the message gets lost? Very funny, because I feel like a lot of times when I hear people sing a song and the song is judged, is when the song is sung like maybe in pidgin English. That's another thing that happens. When somebody sings song in pidgin, oh, it's too ras. Why is our language too ras? Unless we're speaking Queen's English, then it's not ras. What do you mean that it's been lost in a genre? For instance, I feel like if we were even in the Bible when David was dancing to the Lord, a lot of us would have judged him. Why you raise your cloth too much? Like you're dancing too rascally. Because what do you mean it's been lost in a genre? We are not so unintelligent to not hear the wordings of a song because of the beat. I am not so unintelligent, at least. For instance, in our average Nigerian church, they have time for praise and for worship. Most praise songs are fast and we're dancing to the upbeats, and everything. Does it mean that we don't know what we're saying in the song? Do you guys think that only when the song is going slow that our brains can comprehend that we're worshiping God? I wish I can talk about this thing to the point that everybody begins to understand that God can be worshipped with upbeat, downbeats, rap, anything. You can still worship him with any genre of music. So when you come out and say the gospel is not a genre, but you now say it's beginning to sound like worldly song, I have to ask, how do worldly songs sound? Then I also have to ask, what is more important in the song? Is it the beat or the lyrics? You guys please share with me in the comment section what is more important. I want to know, guys. Thank you for watching. It's a real show. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.